What up, everybody? This is Marc Najjar, the bass dad. That's right. I finally did it. I finally have my own channel. Super excited about it because there's no rules. There's no one telling me, well, you really can't say that. Or there's no one saying, like, oh, but I'd really appreciate it if you did say this instead. No rules. I'm gonna say what I want. I'm going to do what I want. But first, I'm going to lay out a few ground rules for this channel. This is the inaugural video. I welcome comments. I welcome discussion. But please keep it positive. And I want you to expect a few things from me. I'm not going to badmouth anybody on my channel. I'm not going to say any negative things about anyone. I'm not going to talk about the things they did on stage and how they failed. I'm not going to talk about how, company did me wrong or something like that. Nope, I'm going to keep that out. There's enough negative bull out there, and I'm just not going to be part of that. I'm going to be, this is all for fun. This is just for fun. We're going to have a good time all together, and I welcome suggestions all the time. So, the inaugural video, the Annex bass channel from Nuñez Amplification. I'm excited about this one because I've been a big fan of the band Torche, or Torche, as you might know them. And the reason that that name is important and that band is important is because this is the company of Jonathan Nuñez, the former bass player and now guitarist of Torche. And if you know anything about that band, they've got a very great ear for tone. They have a really, they have like the most punishing, distorted, and heavy-ass tones. So for those guys to, have any sort of involvement with the manufacturing side of things is a pretty big deal. So what Jonathan has done, he's built amps, he's built cabs. If you look at Torche's backline, you'll see their whole backline is all Nuñez Amplification. And then this little motherfucker. And what is cool about this is it's not your average overdrive. There's different clipping stages in here. They use he's using high quality components. Of course, point-to-point wiring. It retains the unique characteristics of each bass, which I'll actually showcase with these two basses behind me. I've got my 76 Grabber, no Patrick Hunter, you cannot have it. And then an active bass, which is this funky motherfucker, the Sandberg Patchwork VM5, and I'll talk a bit more about those as well. But anyway, back to this. So let's just dive right in and see what this sumbitch can do. We've got two buttons on, which turns the pedal on, obviously, and then that gives you access to all the knobs and buttons, knobs and switches here, except for the boost knob. That's actually controlled by the loud button. And so with that, you can actually give yourself a little bit of a boost if you want to accentuate your artistic expression. In your solos, or you can turn it all the way up and piss off your neighbors and get the cops called on you, maybe get arrested. I don't know. It's your life. It's your business. It's whatever you want to do. And then, of course, a bunch of different stages in between. The two mini toggle switches. You've got focus, which essentially kind of controls how much low end you want to kind of give it, how much thickness for that thick tone. I like to put it in the downward position and then kind of roll the bass towards the middle, put the gain back a little bit. That gives you a little bit more of a vintagey sort of like hair, which I'll showcase on the Grabber in a little bit. And then in the up position, it rolls the bass off a little bit. The shape knob, the two different clipping stages I was telling you about, in the downward position, it's a bit more forward, a bit more mid-range heavy, a bit more aggressive sounding. In the upward position, it's the opposite. It pulls the mids back. It's less forward, less aggressive, and I'll showcase some sounds off of that. You got a 3-band EQ, bass, mids, and treble. The mids is actually quite versatile. I like to play around with that quite a bit. And then the treble knob, there's a bit of sparkle there, but the range picks up where the range knob up here picks up where the treble leaves off and adds a little bit more sparkle to your magic. Then of course the level is just basically the level of output, and then the gain, you can go from a light sort of subtle boost all the way up to a gnarly ass rip the paint off of the walls saturation. This thing, it's like several pedals in one. It truly does exactly what Jonathan set out to do. It retains the unique characteristics of your bass while giving you, it retains the unique characteristics of the bass without sacrificing any low end. That's one of the big complaints among bass players, and this thing definitely holds onto them lows. It's got that thick ass tone that I like. So back to the basses. Just so you know, I'm not going to be playing them in clean. So don't ask like, oh, that's really cool. I really hate distortion. I would really like to hear how those bass sound clean. No. I'm not going to do that. That's not the purpose of this video. You want that? There's plenty of videos out there on Gibson Grabbers. You can hear them clean and showcase with probably better players anyway. And then also with the Sandberg, I've got a whole video just for that. It's going to showcase that clean. It's going to be dirty. It's going to be great. We're going to have a good time. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. My name is Mark. I'm the Bass Dad. By the way, I didn't give myself that nickname. That nickname was given to me by Doug Castro from Dark Glass Electronics. He's a bad dude. He's a good buddy, so you can ask him to verify that. Doug, please verify in the comments. I'd appreciate that. And that's it. So let's pump this up.